Like, before he even gets into preaching or talking about politics, he begins by calling out Candace Owens and saying that she is evil and anti-Semitic and what she's doing is evil. I immediately wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there any longer listening to this nonsense.
So this woman, this young lady went to it. You know how there's the TPUSA pastors, right? There's Robbie McCoy's dad.
Oh, yes. I love
The
him.
CIA psyop, fake Christian pastors.
Yeah,
Yes,
the fake. They're all psyops, and they all talk about politics at the pulpit, which is supposed to get. You're supposed to lose your tax exemption for that, but they keep doing that, and it's got nothing to do with Jesus. And she's upset because she went to see one of these guys. She said, "Shocking! A young Christian woman walked into TPUSA Faith event expecting Jesus, and she left horrified."
Yeah, because they're Luciferians. They're not Jesus people.
So let's listen to what she says.
So I went to a TPUSA Faith event tonight, and I want to talk about it. Thinking that I was going to enjoy myself and learn things because TPUSA is obviously a conservative faith-based foundation, or so I thought. I thought I was going to be informed about politics stemming strictly from biblical principles, and that's not my experience. So right off the bat, the speaker comes up and before he even gets into preaching or talking about politics, he begins by calling out Candace Owens and saying that she is evil and anti-Semitic and what she's doing is evil. I immediately wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there any longer listening to this nonsense because right off the bat I know that that's just not true. And the only reason I didn't leave is because on the way in I basically got security checked 5 times because there was armed men standing everywhere in front of me. They were very suspicious of me. I don't know. There was also an armed man on stage, hand on his gun. The security was everywhere. And I was like, I just don't want to deal with it. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it just didn't feel right. So I'm in this church and I'm listening to this TPUSA speaker go on and on about Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and how they're evil and anti-Semitic. And he basically indirectly is saying we should support Israel because Jesus was a Jew and we wouldn't have Christianity without Judaism and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I disagree with that. What they're doing in Israel is evil and they're so corrupt. It's insane. And telling Christians that they should be supporting this evil doing because these people are Jewish, and if you don't, you're anti-Semitic, it's wrong. And also, I don't think Charlie Kirk would stand for that. We know, as, the weeks before his passing, he was starting to call out Israel and question Israel. And Candace Owens was his best friend. What? So then he goes on and he starts preaching, but the way he was preaching, it wasn't really preaching, he was just literally calling, the left names. He called the left idiots, he called them freaks, he called them it didn't feel right. And my thought process is, would Jesus be doing this? Is this biblical teaching? You're calling people that we disagree with as Christians all these names and loser, idiot, freak. Really? Because last time I checked, Jesus ate with sinners. He ate with prostitutes. So you're spreading hate, literally, and that's not what God stands for. He's preaching to people whilst spreading hate. And these people are absorbing this information, these teenagers, these young people are absorbing this information, thinking that this is okay. This is a leader. This is someone we put on our stage teaching us this. This is a future generation of Christians. Do we really want to be more divided? We're just going to hate on the left because we disagree with them. We're not going to share the Bible with them. We're not going to help them because we think that they're lost. We're just going to call them losers and freaks and make fun of them and laugh it off. It was quite disgusting, and I'm not pleased at all. So basically, I didn't learn a thing. He spent the entire time talking about liberals and how they're stupid and blah, 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 and how men shouldn't be in women's locker rooms and women's sports. And I'm thinking, we have more important things to talk about as Christians in this nation than things that we see plastered all over online. We all know. We know that men shouldn't be in women's sports. We know that they shouldn't be in women's bathrooms. That's not the most important topic, okay?
So who's she talking about? Is she talking about this guy who was speaking at a TPU? Look, it says TPUSA right behind him. Let's listen to him.
So contrary to what Candace Owens is saying, who's spending her time trying to tear down the legacy of Charlie Kirk, fighting against Erica Kirk, his wife. You have to be cruel and demonic.
So they're making that up. So they have to pretend. First of all, how is this part of your Sunday sermon? Talking about
Toilet Paper USA.
Toilet paper.
You have to be cruel and demonic, not to starve kids in Gaza. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, Christ would have approved.
Yeah. Isn't that? And then they always pretend that Candace is attacking Erica Kirk. She's never once done that. But they have to pretend. So that's Zionism is always based on a lie.
To insinuate the things that she has insinuated over the past several weeks. She's evil. That's what it is. And a big hand clap goes there. Don't get shy on me tonight. I ain't the one. I came too far to play around. It's evil. It's corrupt. It should not take place. She sounds like a jaded person who wish they were in the role that Charlie Kirk's wife is in, but she isn't.
Projecting.
So therefore, she seeks to tear down his legacy. And at some point, her husband is going to have to walk into that.
You would think at some point they would realize, hey, it looks bad that we buy this story from Kash Patel about this lone nut shooter when none of it makes sense, about him putting this gun together, taking it apart, putting it back together, leaving the thing, climbing up the building like a Spidey man, and then changing his clothes a million times, and then leaving the screwdriver on the roof, and then somehow jumping off the roof with the gun in two pieces, and then reassembling it somehow without the screwdriver, and then putting it in the backyard of the Palantir house. And then changing his clothes again, and then going out for nuggets.
Yeah.
Just...
also the Epstein thing being completely covered up. I would think that the fact that Israel traffics American kids and the CIA does it with them, I would think that would make you real mad, and you would never let go of that, and you wouldn't just move on. So
you would think at some point they would go, yeah, it does make us look stupid for not also joining Candace and not also asking obvious questions like why was his security team caught lying about being able to have a drone over the event? The security guy said on that Sean Ryan show that they weren't allowed to, and then the other guy said that they had one. They were looking at it in real time. So there they are. So again, you don't lie. The only reason you lie is you're trying to cover up something. You don't lie because you're nervous.
Yeah.
You lie because you're covering up something.
I don't know who that guy is, but he's trying out for the role of being the new guy. You know how the other guy didn't work out?
Yeah. And so they're all lying. They were lying about Mikey McCoy directing traffic. He jumped in. He was a hero that day, and he has blood all over. They're lying, stop lying about what happened. And then they pave over the crime scene. No, you're not a little suspicious of why they paved over a crime scene?
As a black guy, you're not.
Right. So here, he's got more to say.
Podcast room and start unplugging cords. I mean, by now I would have already done it if it was my wife. I'm yanking cords. I'm shutting down the camera, shut down the ATEM. Sweetie, get up, get out of this room, and can you please help out with the kids? Because this is a dastardly deed that is being done. I thought that the greatest foe that we would have to contend with after the assassination of Charlie Kirk would be the left. But sadly, it's friendly fire from the right. I'm moving on.
What a bitch's bitch he is, huh?
What a bitch's bitch that guy is.
Wow.
That guy's name is... John K. Amanachukwu Sr.
What?
Yeah. And here's what I love. Candace retweeted it. Candace says, TPUSA Faith coming to a city near you. Quote, God wants you to clap for me. Remember what he said?
Clown.
Unbelievable. Amanachukwu. So was he some diplomat's kid that was put in the program, is my guess?
I don't know what he is. But let's remember... This was this is Rob McCoy.
I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old. Justin's the CFO, chief financial officer, and Mikey's the chief of staff. And I'm watching the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray.
First of all, how did he even know that? Because he left before he even saw what happened. You hear the gunshot, Mikey McCoy immediately turned and walked away. He didn't look over, try to check on his friend. He just immediately, as if he was programmed, like a zombie. And he didn't stop walking. We have him on camera walking 100 yards away, just nonstop walking on the phone. Who's he on the phone with? And he said he's covered in blood. Well, let's listen.
It's okay, son. You're He has wits about him. He was just directing.
He had his wits about him. He wasn't directing anything. He's lying. He didn't have his wits about him. He immediately, before Charlie Kirk ever fell off the chair, before his body hit the ground, Mikey McCoy had already steps gone. He was gone. He immediately, as soon as you hear the gunshot, it was like, boom, program. Gunshot, boom. Mikey McCoy immediately turns and walks. Doesn't look at Charlie at all.
I just to speculate, Jimmy, you think it might have anything to do with Grandpa McCoy being the assistant chief of staff for psychological warfare from Naval Intel?
Yes.
Because the dad's a fake preacher who's not a Christian. I mean, anybody who can't see through him.
Yeah.
I'm not even Christian, and I know the lore, so I could tell when you're a liar. That guy's a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And then the kid's a zombie. You think there might be anything there? I don't know.
Yes. Covered in blood, and he got his wits about him. He just started directing. He doesn't directing shit.
Oh, Grandpa would have done better psychological warfare than this, not to
That's right.
cast aspersions on Pastor McCoy. Your dad did a better job.
Anyway, so nice of this young lady to call out the TPUSA fake Christianity bullshit.
People that are into that, who believe in it. You can't, I know it seems like you could just jerk them around, but remember George W. Bush, when the evangelicals got fed up with the Republicans towards the end of that because they sensed it was bullshit? I'm still waiting for the Democrats to realize about Obama. I'm still waiting for that.
That's never going to happen.
Beautiful miracle.
That's never going to happen. Okay, if you'd like to hear my jokes about these pastors, come see me this Saturday in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. We'll be in Waikiki on January 11th and the Comedy Store in Los Angeles on January 30th. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Come see me on tour in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Waikiki, Hawaii, and the Comedy Store in Los Angeles. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.